day today. Today I'm going to be talking to y'all about the new Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. This one that looks like a beautiful rainbow, and whether it met my expectations or not. I'm going to be showing y'all swatches and everything toward the end, so stick around for that if you want to see it. But let's get into this first. So we have like all the colors of the rainbow going on here, and I really liked how they have 3 different rows where the top is like the darker rainbow colors, the middle is like the bright ones, and then the back are the like more muted kind of pastel looking colors. I really liked the layout. I thought it looked nice and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. There are 21 shades in this palette, which is kind of a lot considering that last year's Spectrum palette had 15 here, and 18 of them are new. Alchemy was from the Vice 3, and Hatter and Metamorphosis were from the Alice in the Looking Glass palette, which was kind of recent. All these 21 shadows will cost you $55. It goes on sale October 26th online, and in November it'll start appearing in stores where Urban Decay things are sold. I was able to get my hands on this early because Urban Decay had a sale for people who signed up as Urban Decay junkies. I think it was last week, so I saw it and I was like, I have to have it now. So I got it done. So as you can see, this one right here is quite different from last year's. Last year's, it didn't really have a hinge or anything to keep the top from falling off, which kind of made me distraught. So this one right here has a clasp. It's not gonna go anywhere, and there's a big old mirror here at the top, and it comes with a brush and all that, and you know, it's just, that's how it's designed. And I absolutely love the way the packaging looks. It's so pretty. Enough about the specs here. Let's talk about how these shadows work. Last year I got my hands on the Spectrum palette, and I have to say it was one of my favorite holiday palettes from last year, and it's still one of my favorite colorful palettes. So when I heard about this one, I was so excited to try it out. I love colors. I love putting colors on my face, as you can see here. When I finally got it and played around with it, I actually played with like all of the colors in one day. And I have to say, I was for the most part disappointed. I hate doing reviews like these. It's always such a letdown, but it must be done because I want to save people money if y'all were on the fence. It was kind of iffy though, because it seems that whenever you have like bright mattes, it seems harder to get the formula nice. And that seems to be what happened with this palette. Whenever I put shadows on and I test them out, I always use primer because that's just how I do things. I want things to last. I want them to look as pigmented as possible, so use primer. So I can't even imagine what some of these would perform like if I had not used primer. Whenever I get a palette, I sometimes expect 1 dud, maybe 2, but this one, guys, this one was filled with so many, which is kind of annoying. Like, how does it pass the factory test and stuff like that and still get passed on as a palette that people are spending their hard-working money on? Like, $55 is not cheap. I have it upside down so I won't blind y'all with the mirror. So Iced, right here in the middle, that one is pretty sheer. It didn't really want to pick up on the brush, and whenever I tried to apply it onto the lid, it was very sheer and pretty dusty. Then we have Faded here, this purple sparkly one. The name makes me laugh because it suits it well. It was pretty patchy. I pat the thing on and it's still like some spots looked lighter while some spots looked darker, and it just didn't look spectacular. Then we have Metamorphosis here, which is in the inner corner of my eye. I don't know if y'all can tell, I even have primer on, guys. I have primer on and it's already starting to fade away there in the inner corner, and that like never happens to me with shadows. And I pat multiple layers on it because I noticed that it did kind of try to fade away whenever I swiped the brush to mix that color with the middle color, which is Blindsided. I noticed that it was starting to shear away. I was like, no, 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 hold up, you have to stay here. Then we have Midnight Blaze down here. That one was also kind of patchy whenever I pat it onto the lid, and also the glitter kind of tended to fall away from it after a while. There's Gold Mine here. Also, that one I have no idea how it even made it here because whenever I tried to pick it up with the brush had like little to no pigment on it, and I tried to pat it on the lid and there was hardly anything that transferred onto my lid. There you have it. And now the ones that I didn't mention, the ones that worked, you know, decent enough for me, those still weren't wow. Like with this one here from last year, you get on your brush, you apply it to your lid, and it would just glide on, super pigmented, like little to no effort, and it's just how shadows should be, you know? I didn't feel wowed by any of the colors in this new palette, and that's pretty upsetting. These types of reviews really bum me out. Also, Also, NYX has like a white base that you could put on your lids, and I'm sure that'll make it pop more and stick better, but me, I just don't want to have to go through that extra step to have to try and get a palette that's $55 to work the way it should work, you know? So if there's some of you guys who just absolutely love the color, that might be an option for you. I don't know what extent you guys want to go to try and get these colors to work, but there are those options. Another thing I almost forgot to mention is that like the dark matte shades, a lot of them really did not want to blend out that well. Like this look right here, I kept it pretty sharp because even whenever I went in with some colors from the Urban Decay Ultimate Basics that just came out, I tried to use that to help it blend out a bit, and it was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not blending out. So it's just a sharp look. So anyway, guys, that's my review. If y'all have any other questions, feel free to ask and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. This one has definitely been the biggest letdown palette that I have purchased in a long time. And that sucks because I was really excited about it. We're about to get into the swatches, but as always, if you enjoyed this video, please thumbs up, please subscribe if you have not already, and feel free to leave me comments, all that good stuff. Let's get into the swatches.